Welcome back. I'm going to be reviewing this book. Now, some of you, I read a lot, about a book a week, and some of you might be familiar with Dr. Carolyn Leaf. And you might be thinking, why are you reviewing this book? Well, I talk a lot about mindset. And this book is a great book. It is called Switch On Your Brain by Dr. Carolyn Leaf, The Key to Peak Happiness, Thinking, and Health. And it features the 21-day brain detox plan. So over 350,000 of these books have been sold. She's Patrick Bet-David has had her on his podcast on Valuetainment. He's somebody I follow, and several other people. She's fantastic. She's a communication pathologist and audiologist who has worked in the area of cognitive neuroscience since 1985. She was pioneering work on neuroplasticity, that changes in thinking actually changing the brain and can affect behavioral change. She paved the way for her current research on how scientific principles are supported by scripture and vice versa. As you know, I'm a Christian, so this was a great interest to me. She has been featured on Enjoying Everyday Life with Joyce Meyer, Life Today with James and Betty Robinson, Today with Marilyn and Sarah, It's Supernatural with Sid Roth, and Doctor to Doctor. And also Patrick Bet-David and others. You are not a victim of your biology. So right there, the headline there, you're not a victim of your biology. I read this book and it's fantastic. And a lot of it that she talks about is something I already believed in, but she has a more elegant and better way of explaining it. And also she gives you tools to thinking better. And we are in a mental health crisis. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do a review on this book. If you know anybody who is suffering from depression or anybody who is suffering from negative thinking, who's always down on themselves, who are never happy, this is the book for them. It is absolutely, hugely, overwhelmingly impactful. And I can't recommend it enough. And in today's society, everybody wants to be a victim. And nothing's anybody's fault. And the reason why people are the way they are is because of their childhood or their trauma or what they're going through or whatever the case. And so what she's saying here, you're not a victim of your biology. That's one of the taglines. But let me just give you some of the things in here. What we think about truly affects us both physically and emotionally. Today, our culture is undergoing an epidemic of toxic thoughts that, left unchecked, create ideal conditions for illnesses. So one of the things in her book that she does is she correlates illness to physical illness to negative thinking, which there are some scientific correlations to that. So, supported by current scientific and medical research, Dr. Carolyn Leaf exposes the switch, which is in parentheses, in your brain that will enable you to live a happier, healthier, more enjoyable life where you achieve your goals, get your thought life under control, and even become more intelligent. So I say it all the time. Mindset is everything. Absolutely everything. I would rather have the right mindset than all the money in the world. And people are like, how stupid. But if you don't have the right mindset and you have all the money in the world, you're going to lose all the money in the world because your mindset is wrong. And I think it's important not necessarily to be happy, because happiness is not a feeling, it's a state of mind. And this is what the types of things that she goes into. And she expounds on biblical principles where, and we just did a Bible reading of Galatians, right, of the fruits of the Spirit, right? So there's actions to take place. But she gives you some exercises, Dr. Carolyn Leaf gives you some exercises that I think are very helpful to people who are, like I said, depressed or constantly thinking negative. And I can't recommend this book enough. I would, and like I said, over 350,000 people have purchased this book, and it's been very impactful for a lot of people. It's been impactful for people in my own family, and it highlighted and correlated some things that I had already believed and thought, but became more precise and foundational in what I believed. So I would really suggest that you read this book. If you're suffering from depression, if you're suffering from suicidal thoughts, if you're suffering from anything like that, I'm not a medical professional, but I don't think you need to be a medical professional for somebody to say, if you're hurting, get help. And this is one of the things I truly believe will help you. It is one of the things that will help you start thinking clearly. It is something that I think will help you learn to be happy in whatever circumstances you're in. And so I can't recommend it enough. It's not a new book. It's been around for a while. Let's see what I believe the 2013 is when this originally came out, and there's been several reprints of this. So it's 10 years old, and it's still standing up test time. It's still being sold quite often. So read it. Do yourself a favor. Don't do me a favor. Do yourself a favor and read this book. If you're struggling with bad thoughts, if you're struggling with suicide, if you're struggling with things that are affecting your life through your thought process, read this book. I think it'll be extremely impactful. See you next time.